highway to Kundansk Arena. You search for Dirge's contact. Keep your guard up. The spectators may not be friendly. Kegs of potent liquor have been attached to these battering rams for easy transport. It's a marvel of hobgoblin ingenuity. The gates of Kundansk Arena loom ahead, guarded by a well-groomed bugbear and a host of trollish enforcers. Monstrous spectators pack the stands, eager for the main event. Growl and You notice words etched above this gate. Ready Room 1.
Time to fight. Gladiators in Ready Room 1. Get moving.
Grogan, the promoter, shouts, "We have a last-minute team for today's bloodbath, all the way from Stormreach." Angry howls erupt from the crowd. No reason to worry. Crusher's kobolds and the Mudwallow ogres are hungry for blood, and they're joining forces against the Stormreach team. What a terrible upset! The mystery team is tougher than it looks.
Their luck has run out. The Horns of Fury and the Maelstrom Princes have slain hundreds of their kind.
This should be the shortest fight we've ever seen. Let the slaughter begin. Who could imagine such a disaster? So many great gladiators slaughtered in their prime. It's time for an all-out showdown. Fresh fighters from all four teams have armed themselves for battle. Their horns are sharpened and their weapons are drawn. Our brave fighters are entering the arena. The battle is on. The Stormreach team has spilled a sea of blood today, but it has not yet sailed to victory. There remains one warrior with the strength and cruelty to avenge the fallen heroes of Tharashk Arena. I give you the king of killers, the merciless murderer, the terror in the night, Deadheart the Unbeaten.
To
finish the quest, we just grab this thing. You could actually equip the axe. It's actually a pretty nice axe, but then as soon as we drop out of the quest, it just gets dropped. So, but it actually is a really nice axe for the level. Nothing too exciting. I'm just going to take a light item here. Run to the next one. This is the Art Giver, so I usually like to talk to him after each quest. Make sure it's advancing properly. And this is the prisoner.
a fountain, lost in thought.
And there are a few beholders in here, so making sure we have death block is important.
A beholder roars, hungry for slaughter.
This seems like a pretty difficult maze, but basically if you just go, take this sort of like right exit straight, there's a trap here which we can get. It won't hurt you if you run through it. And then kind of go around the corner, and then it takes us to this bridge. We could just go right to this bridge. Let's check for traps here. These traps don't do a lot of damage if you just run through them. And we're out. So it's not a random maze. It's the same thing every time. So once you sort of know that path, it's pretty fast to get in and out of there. We just follow this big structure up, and it takes us to the giant, who's going to give us our second item. So you do have a social skills option with this guy. We have our diplomacy belt and charisma potion, so I'll go ahead and use it. Diplomacy. And he says he'll give it to us since we passed his diplomacy test, or diplomacy skill check. He'll give it to us if we kind of clear his chamber of pests. And there's 4 left. It's just a time thing, they'll show up soon. Yep. And then now that we did that, he'll give us his key to get the second item. It helps to have a good jump skill here, or have a jump potion, but we may be able to just jump even at this level, just jump over to this stand. It's pretty close. There we go, got it, barely. If we had a jump potion or a better jump skill.
An eye tyrant watches you with malicious intent.
That's a beholder who's below here. But we're going to try to get these quarry first. These quarries do a ton of charisma damage. Effectively, these quarries, if they do charisma damage, can not only do stat damage, but actually take you to where you're helpless if your stats get down to 0. I'm going to go ahead and get this beholder. We could just shoot him with an arrow, but I'm just going to jump down and get him. And he gave me 4 negative levels, which isn't nice. But you can see my hit points are way down, so just give this to this, and that gives a greater restore. We do lose our spell points, but that's okay. Level 14, level 12 Paladin. we'll have basically immunity to negative energy drain. This is the third item, so we just have one more item to get.
Forceful winds threaten to send you off into the ether. A beholder roars under the storm and heavy
I'm just going to shrine here since we're almost at the end of the quest. The beholder neg leveled me, but yeah, we have the remove disease, which also gives a greater restore, so it's not as big of a deal for us. But we're going to go ahead and get our cookies back and our spell points back by shrining. Their accounts are one of the toughest things in the game. These guys are pretty tough on Reaper. They do a lot of damage. The damage is untyped. There's no save if they do this iconic blast. Their death effects isn't as big of a deal because we have death block. But this iconic blast is something that on Reaper mode we'll be very concerned about.
The illusory ladder fades from view. Green ichor drips down from the branches above your head.
Yeah, those green numbers there mean that it's, for acid means it's healing. So the orange numbers are damage, but then, you know, that's offset by some healing from the acid. So these arcane uses are healed by acid. One of the reasons why I wish we had something other than acid on this blue shine weapon, but we'll take what we can get. It was a pretty nice random drop. It was the right level at the right time. We've faced a ton of oozes since the drop, so I'm not going to complain about that.
Arcane oozes dissolves into a bubbling
Now you just have to get the last item. There's a bit of another blowing, I don't want to call it puzzle, but blowing obstacle we have to face.
Forceful winds threaten to
I usually
send you
stand
off
right
into
here.
the ether.
I can get a good view of it and try to time it. Oops, I'm a little risky there. Alright. And then we'll just grab the last item and go down for the end fight. each item goes individually, and then we'll fight this shadow when we're done. There we go.
A shadowy apparition materializes before you. Rage and turmoil. With her shadow self defeated, Orphne awakens from her reverie.
There's a trap chest over here as well as a collectible. I'm almost more interested in the collectible at this point for Caneth crafting. This trap's activated when you open the trap. So we'll disable it so we can get some free loot. No named items in here, it's just random loot. That's interesting. And then a collectible. Alright, so sometimes this adventure compendium is off by one quest, but you see we're at 62. So that would mean we need 13. I think that's actually wrong. It's probably off by whatever this quest is. So we should, there's like the next quest has a quest and a pre-quest. And I'm thinking that that's going to get us there. We'll see a little mail symbol if we do. If not, we'll just find one more quest to run. There's one more quest in this chain we can run. Alright, I don't think that's better than the bow we have. None of this other, let's see, lightning dense wood. Strong heavy. I don't think this is immune to, yeah, this dense wood's not immune. Too bad we don't need the guild renown. We're at 200. So I'll just grab something that's light here and we'll run this. So there's a pre-quest here and a quest. So we'll run both on normal since we have to it's free to play. Let's see, I've been told the horse works here. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like it does. So, alright, so this is a rare quest where the horse actually works. But you're fighting stuff the whole time, so I don't think really, other than this first part here, you would really use a horse anyways. But kind of interesting to note that this sort of looks like a wilderness. It's a quest, but for whatever reason, yeah, there's probably a flag that's set wrong that allows you to have the horse in here. And I wouldn't recommend it. You're going to get like red alert, get slowed down. You might have to fight a bunch of enemies. I mean, it's probably okay. And when we run on a Reaper, of course, we want to get 10 kills, so, you know, the horse isn't as critical. But the good thing is if you have somebody joining this quest and they're late, and you could tell them they could use their horse once they pop in here.
A majestic being of metal and magic glares at you from the cavern ahead. This inevitable is a Marut, one whose sole purpose is to destroy those who cheat death. A group of drow ambushers in the next room howls a battle cry. The old scribe is determined to fight you and the inevitable at once. The gate grinds open. The drow scorpion springs a command. The chorus shrieks across the inevitable's footsteps thunder across a stone bridge ahead. Several drow flee ahead of it in terror. You have caught up with the inevitable. It stares coldly at you, perhaps calculating the threat you pose to its mission.
On high difficulties, this is a very nasty trap if it's not disabled. I've seen some real high hit point characters die in this trap. Alright, there's an option on the left. We're just going to go to the right since we're just really going for completion here. And then sometimes some guys will come from behind like they did there. And I should really be using my vorpal weapon here. It's a better weapon than the other one. It has the keen, so I'm getting double my criticals. And then on a 20, it's a... some of these guys have death block, so it won't kill them. If they have more than 1,000 hit points, it won't kill them. I don't think anything has more than 1,000 hit points yet.
Terrible slaughter. The inevitable has already passed this way. You see signs of
There's an option on the right. We're going to go left here. Yeah, normally on Reaper, I take more of a draw them back type approach on this area. I'm kind of rushing here to get the House Kundrak favorite thing done, which is, you know, kind of bad form, I guess, there for showing somebody the quest for the first time. I should have drawn them back. When I do the Reaper videos, I will do that. Proper technique. Oop, I should have my shield spell on because this is like the one place they actually probably use it. Yep, you can see there's the. There you can see that they're shooting me with magic missiles, and it's on Reaper. There's more of them. Bigger number of mobs. All right, so usually I save this shrine because we have beholders coming up, and that way if I get neg level too much, I can come back and get restored after. So I'm going to save this shrine. Probably not going to stop, but and come back, but it's there if we run into some problems.
The locked gate ahead marks the
And the beholders usually dispel my expeditious retreat. And this is where range is kind of a nice benefit because you can usually kill them before they can get to you. This guy got the
beholder serving a drow or anyone else.
Level.
Shudder to imagine the bargain that Dale must have struck.
So restore with my disease. And I did lose my expeditious retreat, so I'm not going to bother with it until we get past the beholders. I want to make sure. Neg levels again, but the nice thing is the as long as I'm restored, the hit points don't stack. So, like I lost my spell points rather, my spell point loss. If I lost more levels, it would go down more, but so long as I don't lose more levels, it will stay the same. Okay, good. No optional here. I'm kind of happy about that because one less beholder to fight. This guy not get me negative leveled. So I'm going to kill all the beholders first. The basic idea here is that you have a bunch of runes. Alright, let's... This guy's probably going to hit me big. Oops. Yeah, I was worried about that. Alright, I'm going to try to get him with my bow. Should have probably done that in the first place. So at least he didn't hit me for more than 4 negative levels. Alright. I think there might be one more beholder. Maybe that's only on higher difficulties, kind of in this area. Alright, so once the beholders are cleared, then we need to find the runes. They can be hard to locate, but if you hit the Q button, it helps you find them. So you just kind of point in all directions, hit the Q, and then you either click on it or hit the E button when you're up against it. So we have a beholder up top. I'm just going to skip it. I'm going to make sure there's not a thing up there. And we're going to try to find the other 3. They could be, there's one. They could be up high, so if we don't find them at our level, we'll have to go up a little higher and look. Let's see. Alright, and there's one, and so the way we get to this one, I'm going to get my expeditious retreat on. Since we're past the beholders. We'll climb up these mushrooms and get it here. Alright, so that's the 3rd rune. So now it doesn't give you a message saying you're done. It's just you have to count them, and if you're in a group, coordinate to know when you're done. And this opens up at that point.
The clusters of giant mushrooms grow more sparse as you emerge from the beholder's domain.
On Epic, we probably will do these optionals, so you'll see it higher. If we go left here, follow those ridges across, that's an optional. We're going to skip that optional, and we are just going to go here, and let me get my sword. And let's see, I better get my shield on. For the next wave, this wave doesn't use magic missile, but the next wave, on high difficulty levels, these casters are pretty tough. And there's, it's a much smaller mob, but on Reaper, you'll see, well, you won't see because I'll have shield on, but the magic missile can be absolutely deadly. And we'll probably be using the shrines. Alright, so we're not going to bother shrining here. We'll see how this beholder fight goes. We're going to fight a boss beholder that's pretty tough. We'll see if we can fight one at a time. I usually try to do that, but no guarantees. And so I'm going to park my hireling right here. And then what I try to do, there's 3 bosses. I try to kind of like go, just kind of move around a little bit and see if I could get. Okay, so I don't know if we're going to get all 3 of them there, but you can see once they start talking, they've spotted us. So now I'll run back here and see if we can get, maybe fight them one at a time a little bit first. Like this guy. Fighting them all 3 at one time can be tough. They all have, there's a caster, so here's the caster. And obviously on Reaper it's going to take longer to take them down. But now all that's left is a beholder. And so he's not so bad by himself, but he probably will negative level me like crazy. And my range is no good, so I'm going to just charge. Action boost. And then just try to, whoa. So, I thought I had my death effect on there. So anyways, I'm going to call my hireling over here. See if I can shrine. I thought I had a death block item there. That seems glitchy because I have a death. Oh no, we have our bluffing item on, so good. Always check for your death block there. So that was my bad. So, but it goes to show you, even on normal, you want to be prepared against these beholders here. So he used a death spell on me, and normally that's going to fail because I always wear death block. But I still had my bluffing necklace on from something, probably a mistake. And so we'll try again. Luckily, we're close enough to the shrine there, so it wasn't too bad. I was able to run back. But let's try this again. Nope. Tried it again. Didn't work. He's got some other big attacks, but that's the only one at normal that's going to actually kill you. Alright, and so...
Ahead, 3 champions of Vale's forces have arrayed themselves for a last defense.
Neg level 2, so let's see if we get everybody healed. So I'm not going to bother shrining, but we'll make sure we have our death block item on next time around. I'm going to get my holy sword. Oh wait, I haven't added, no, the damage reduction for this Marut, watchful, heightened awareness and dodge, that's interesting. So let me just take a look at that later. I think we'll just vendor that. Damage reduction for Maruts are anarchic or chaotic damage. The problem we have with that as a paladin is if we use a chaotic weapon, we take a negative level. It still might be worth it if his damage reduction was big enough, but yeah, we'll see. We might use for Reaper, we might use an anarchic weapon to accept the -1. The -1 level penalty is not that big of a deal. You can see the damage reduction on normal. It's even worse on Reaper. So we'll probably try to find an anarchic greatsword when we get to Reaper. But that's not going to be until we're level 13. A long ways to go for that. All right, and you see we have mail, so that should be our favor. Let's see if it won't. It probably won't update till we get out of here. And sometimes it's a little slow to update the adventure compendium. It's like 1 adventure behind. We were 70 going in, so I'm pretty sure we'll be over 75 now. Yeah, you can see it hasn't updated, but I'm sure we got the favor for that. All right, astute 4 and 3. I think that's what we have. Sheltering 6 and 3. Okay, so that's not a bad helmet though for level 8. I'm gonna take it just in case we have gear Tetris and that works out. All right, so that's the second part of the level 7 to 9 House Kundarak quests on normal.